It's day 9 of the 21-day Career Pivot series. I'm Dr. Christy Taylor, and if interviews have been tripping you up lately, this episode will help you understand why and what to do instead. If you've been preparing for private sector interviews the same way you've approached federal interviews, I've got news for you. That strategy is likely holding you back. The interview process in the federal space is completely different from how things work in the private sector. In government roles, the focus is often on procedure. Did you meet the required qualifications? Did you follow protocol? And can you speak to the specific KSAs or knowledge, skills, and abilities listed in the job posting? You're expected to walk through duties, cite regulations, and stay within a structured framework. And while that works in a federal setting, it doesn't fly in most private sector interviews. Private employers want something different. They're not just evaluating your ability to do the job, they're assessing how you think, how you solve problems, and whether you'd be a good fit for their team and culture. That's why leading with compliance talk or heavy process detail usually falls flat. It doesn't translate. Instead of sounding competent, you sound disconnected from the priorities that matter most in a competitive, fast-paced workplace. So what does work? The secret lies in how you tell your story. You need to shift your approach from procedural explanation to strategic communication. It's no longer about checking boxes, it's about proving your value. One of the most powerful tools you can use is a strong answer to behavioral questions. When they ask, "Tell me about a time you handled a challenge," they're not looking for a long government report. They want to hear how you think, how you lead, and how you get things done. This is where PACE comes in, Dr. Taylor's framework that stands for problem, action, conclusion, and effect. When you structure your answers this way, you focus on outcomes, not just activities. Let's break that down. Problem: what was the situation or challenge? Action: what steps did you take to address it? Conclusion: what solution did you implement? Effect: what were the results? What changed because of your work? For example, instead of saying, "I facilitated interagency collaboration per policy guidelines," you could say, "I led a cross-functional team to resolve a bottleneck in communication across 3 agencies, which reduced delays by 40% and helped deliver a critical program 3 weeks ahead of schedule." That kind of response is clear, action-oriented, and results-driven. It paints a picture of leadership and impact, exactly what private employers want to see. And here's something else. You need to demonstrate adaptability. Private employers often move faster than government agencies. They want to know that you can handle change, uncertainty, and shifting priorities without missing a beat. So when you're preparing for interviews, think of examples where you had to pivot. Times when you had to step outside your comfort zone, manage competing demands, or solve unexpected problems. These are gold in a civilian interview. They show that you can thrive even when the ground shifts. Also, don't underestimate the power of soft skills, things like emotional intelligence, collaboration, and leadership potential. These are huge in private sector hiring decisions. Show that you're not just capable, you're coachable, motivated, and ready to contribute to a team. Preparation is key. Before your next interview, research the company. Study the job description. Understand what success looks like in the role you're applying for. Then tailor your talking points to highlight the experience and qualities that match. Practice using industry language, not federal lingo. Make sure your answers are clear, concise, and focused on the value you bring. And most importantly, don't just tell them what you did. Show them what happened because of you. To recap, federal interview methods don't translate well in the private sector. Process and policy are important, but they're not what gets you hired. results, adaptability, leadership, and clear, impactful storytelling. That's what stands out. So if your interviews haven't been landing lately, it may not be your experience, it might be your delivery. It's time to change the script. If you want help refining your interview strategy, click the link in the description to schedule a one-on-one session. We'll walk through your experiences and build strong, tailored answers that set you apart. Also, don't miss our free Beat the Bots Part 2 workshop series, happening every Tuesday this July at 7 p.m. EST. We're focusing on reading job descriptions like a pro so you can understand exactly what employers are asking for and tailor your resume with confidence. If you've been applying and hearing nothing back, this is your next best step. Click the link in the description box to save your spot. Thanks for joining me today. As you prepare for your next interview, don't just list what you did, show the impact you made. Catch you tomorrow for